Welcome to EmFi, Embedded Finance in Africa, a Renew Capital series exploring how technology, capital, and entrepreneurship are transforming financial services across the continent. In each episode, we sit down with founders, operators, investors, and industry leaders building the products, infrastructure, and financial systems that serve millions of Africans. Our goal is simple: learn from the people doing the work and share those lessons with the next generation of builders. We're grateful for the support of Global Affairs Canada, NORAD, and the Government of Morocco. Now, here's today's conversation.
Great. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the official kickoff session of the EmFi series. My name is Dr. Nihal Gri. I'm a Senior Investment Ecosystem Manager working here with Renew Capital from Morocco. For those who may not know us, Renew Capital is an Africa-focused investment firm operating across 13 African countries. I was impressed to see people joining from all over Africa today, so thanks again for showing up. Before joining Renew, I was entrepreneur myself. Actually, I came from an entrepreneurial family. So my grandparents were entrepreneur, my parents were entrepreneur, and I became an entrepreneur too. So when I hear you guys pitching to us, describing your struggles, trust me, many of those conversations feels very familiar. I felt and I experienced the same uncertainty, the same excitement of winning a customer, the pressure of making payroll, and the challenge of financing growth. And I lived so many frustration, but the biggest one was access to finance. That's why today's session and this team is perfect, not because in Morocco we have this issue, but I think it's an issue that is valid for all over Africa. Traditional financing does not fit all entrepreneurs on the continent. And that's why conversations that we're going to have in the EmFi series are going to matter. On behalf of Renew Capital, thank you for joining us. We are really excited to learn alongside you, challenge ideas together, see what you build through your journey. But before we begin, allow me to recognize a few members of our leadership that are present today with us. Laura Davis, our co-CEO and managing partner. Co-managing partner, if you can wave your hand, say quick hi. Hi. Lucas Robinson, our
Hello.
advisory portfolio principal. Adam Abate, our investment principal. Adam. And lastly, I will hand it to the one who built for over a decade Renew Capital's mission, who worked alongside many entrepreneurs from all over Africa, and is one of the biggest believers in the potential of this continent, the one and only Matt Davis. Matt, over to you.
That's very kind. Thank you, Nihal. Welcome, everyone, to Renew Venture Lab. The unique one that we're running this year is called the EmFi series. And in a minute, I will walk you through exactly what you can expect over what I hope will be 8 amazing weeks of the program for all of you. I know you have a lot to do. I know what it's like to be an entrepreneur, especially here in Africa. You've got a lot of things going on. But I promise, for those of you who go through this program, it will really, hopefully, change your life, starting with today. But first, I want to give a big thank you to our partners that I believe they believe in a very different way of looking at Africa since we moved here years ago. These groups of governments have been thinking different. And so we've partnered with them in many cases and worked with them in a number of countries. In addition to being an investment firm, we do a lot of work on the startup ecosystems in a number of countries. And the governments of Canada, Norway, and Morocco believe in you. They believe in us. They believe in the future of Africa. They believe that the future of Africa is different than its past. They see it as really a startup-driven future. And They just love, they hear about the amazing companies that we take through our programs. And so next time you see someone walking around from one of those countries, give them a hug, say thank you. It's because of them and their belief in really what is, I believe, Africa's hidden global potential. It's young startup ecosystems. They make that possible for you all. Now, let me get into the program because that is really what you're here today. But first, let me tell you a small bit about myself. As Nihal was telling you, I am the co-founder and co-CEO of Renew Capital. In a minute, I'll tell you who we are and what we do. But right now, I'm calling you from Ethiopia. I've lived here for the last 14 years. I was happy to see a number of names on the Zoom call that are hailing from Addis. Hopefully, I'll see you out and about. Please stop me and say hi if you see me walking around. I'm a very proud father and a very proud husband. Here's a picture of my wife, Laura, who waved. She actually built this company with me, and we'll talk about that. We travel a lot. So we are about on the road 250 days per year, traveling all over the continent. We have amazing team members in 13 countries. We've invested all over. I'm also the co-founder of the Impact Angel Network with my wife, Laura. We'll talk to you about that as the days go on. And before I started this company, I was a management consultant. So the way I think and what I'm hoping I'll share with you today, it really draws from that experience. So what we are going to cover today, I'm going to try to get 5 things done in a very compressed amount of time. But really, your journey on the Renew Venture Lab and the EmFi series, and hopefully, gosh, if I do my job today, really a new way of thinking about your business, a new way of approaching your life begins today. We're going to cover a number of things during our session today. What I'm going to do is quickly give you an introduction of who is Renew Capital. We're going to then get into a little bit about embedded finance. What is this thing? Why are we holding an entire venture lab focused on embedded finance? Then we're going to walk you through what to expect over the next 8 weeks, which I hope you will love and enjoy. I'll also tell you a few secrets about what will be happening behind the scenes, because this isn't just about you, it's about us. So I'll give you a little bit of insight onto what we'll be doing as we watch you go through the program. Then we're going to get into some actual content. So I'm going to deliver for you one of my favorite things to talk about, which is really the foundation for success. Every venture lab, every training, everything we've ever done at Renew Capital, even our onboarding for every single one of our amazing staff members begins with a version of this training. I deeply believe in it. I think it will change your life. And I really hope you pay attention to it because something in there might spark an idea in your head that will change the course potentially of history, not only for your life, but for what you're building and what you're doing here. Then we'll wrap up with a summary and we'll talk about what to expect next. We have a great program on Friday for you, and we want to make sure all of you not only do the work in between now and then, but attend that session because I think you're going to love it. Okay, let's get into a quick overview about Renew Capital. Who are we? What are we doing? Why are we here? Why did we build this company in the first place? So first, Renew Capital is a Pan-Africa investment firm that backs bold founders, hopefully all 309 of you on this call right now, that are using technology to pursue some of Africa's greatest opportunities. And here's a little footprint diagram of where we've invested in the amazing companies we've invested in. Again, we've been operating and investing on the continent for 14 years. We initially did SME investments. We've been doing technology investments for the last 4 years. But why we started this company, and it's really important that you understand this, is this picture right here. Well, this is what I think is the greatest opportunity in Africa. It's this gorgeous chunk in the middle of this pyramid that is completely underfunded. And it's called the missing middle. A lot of people talk about it as a development challenge. Oh, Africa's got all these problems. We have to come in and give money to all these small businesses. We don't think that way. We think this is potentially one of the greatest investment opportunities globally right now. Finding a solution that can unlock capital for millions of small businesses through technology. That is why we started Renew Capital, to bank the amazing companies in the middle of this pyramid. And right now that sits at $330 billion annual funding opportunity. It says 300 billion, and it's only going to go bigger. But that is why we started this company. And it's important you know that everything that I'm going to talk to you about, the way I talk, the way I explain the opportunity that we're pursuing, the passion, the emotion that you hear in my voice is because I'm a founder. I started this company. I moved from the United States over here years ago and became obsessed with a problem that's become an opportunity that I have committed the rest of my life to solving. And it is people like that that we're looking for, obsessed, literally obsessed about an opportunity that they just can't get out of their brain. And that is what Renew Capital started to do, was to fill this. But first, let me give you a quick understanding of what embedded finance is, and that this whole thing will come together and you'll understand why we launched this series. First off, what is embedded finance? Well, embedded finance refers to financial products and services such as credit, payments, insurance that are integrated directly into platforms, usually technology platforms, that are non-financial in nature. And what they do is they integrate with a financial institution, and that integration goes right onto that platform and offers those financial services to their customers. That is what embedded finance is all about. It's embedding that financial product right into a non-financial, usually a technology platform, usually a mobile application, and offering those services to that app's customers. How it works is pretty straightforward. You have a non-financial company. They develop some type of API or application program interface. Don't ask me how to build those. I'm not a technical person, but we've got tech people that do that. And now we have Claude that does almost all of that for us. But that API plugs directly into a financial provider. And that financial provider can then take that data or whatever data you have, or if you're building your own credit models, and they can look at that data and determine the credit worthiness of your customer or of you. And then it can offer you financial services because of that. And that is a massive opportunity right now that is growing rapidly on the continent of Africa. We've all heard about the fintech boom that happened really from, the 2020 up to 2024. It was really transaction driven. But right now, all signals are pointing that the next major wave that's going to take off is lending. Why? Well, again, I told you just a second ago, there is a $330 billion opportunity that AI is now helping us all unlock, because it can consume so much data if you have good data, and it can turn that into credit models and start to finally do what the commercial banks and the microfinance institutions couldn't do for decades. Finally bank small businesses in Africa. And to crack that code, to tap that opportunity, to pursue that, that is why we launched this series. And us as an investment firm, that is what we see as a massive unlock to finally achieving the mission that we set out to do in the first place. So why should you care? Well, first off, you're a business owner. All right. You might be a SaaS provider. You might have a mobile technology company. You might have data. You might have reach to customers. But not every person can just turn on a switch and suddenly start lending to them. There's a lot of work we have to do. But if you do it well and you do it right, you start to get your data right. You start to organize that data in a very structured process. And we're going to take you through a program that teaches exactly what you need to do. All right. Then that opens up a massive, massive opportunity for you. Some are forecasting is one of the fastest growing subsectors in Africa right now, and it will reach $18 billion. The embedded finance market will reach $18 billion. Now, I see lots of slides. I spend my days looking at slide decks and hearing people pitch. And all of you use the big $330 billion opportunity. Don't do that. You really got to narrow that down and get very specific. That's a real number to me. $18 billion at a 15% compounded annual growth rate. That's real numbers. That's small, that's focused, that's niche, and it's massive still. It's a huge opportunity. So we think there's a lot of people out there that don't exactly know how to pursue this. It's not impossible. It's challenging. We want to take you through that program. And obviously we have a baked in incentive to do that. We believe that if we find amazing founders that are building great companies that are reaching small businesses, we can help plug into you, give you capital, lend you capital so you can on lend to those companies, and we can achieve our mission together of finally finding a solution that fills that missing middle by investing and lending through technology companies to finance hundreds, if not millions, of small businesses around Africa. And my vision, and I hope you share this vision with me, is that not only will we do amazing good, make tons of money, and unlock tons of growth on the continent doing so, but Africa will once again show the world that true innovation comes out of this continent, like we did with mobile money, where we now dominate globally. We have more mobile money wallets in Africa than any other region of the world combined. We crush the world in mobile wallets, but we can do that now with small business lending. I believe out of Africa in the next 5 years, we will have a solution globally. This is not a problem just in Africa, by the way. The global south has this problem, but it's going to be out of this continent where we're going to find a new way to bank small businesses, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I hope all of you participate in this because I think it's going to be you. It's going to be your technology. It's going to be your work that's going to make this possible, and it's going to be unbelievable. Welcome to the EmFi series. This is what we're doing. This is the journey we're going to take you on. If you so choose to be on this journey with us, it won't be for everybody. Some of you might think this isn't quite right for you, and I totally get it. Some of you, though, might get it. So what I'm trying to do with this is to get those little light bulbs in your mind to spark and for you to get this opportunity that we see through your technology out to hundreds of thousands of small businesses. The opportunity is endless, but we have some work to do. Because again, I told you, not everybody can just do this. You should absolutely not just think tomorrow that you can start lending to businesses. You're going to get fleeced. All right. There's a lot of work we have to do. We've got to make this done right. We've got to do it well. And hopefully, what we're going to take you through, which is going to be 7 phases over 8 weeks, will get you from the left-hand side of just understanding this, or maybe you're dabbling in it already, or maybe you're already doing lending in small businesses. Maybe you're doing supply chain financing or receivables factoring, or maybe you're doing some other type of lending. Let's scale it up. All right, we love that. So either way, you're going to benefit from this program. But here's what it's going to look like, and I'm going to take you through this because it's good. This is all on the Learn World website too. For those of you who have not logged in and done that, immediately after this call, you got to hop on that and boom, get in there, register, and go through this. But what's going to happen over the next 8 weeks is a 7-phase program. We're going to start off with a whole bunch, hundreds of companies on the left, and we're going to end with just a few on the right. Okay, so this isn't just like, oh, we all go through it and the world is a wonderful place. We want as many people to benefit as possible from this program. Absolutely. So we're going to give you tons of content. We're going to put as much as we possibly can that's consumable on Learn World. But we're an investment firm. Don't forget, our job is to invest in the best of the best. And frankly, while this is a great program for you, it's also a filtering and learning mechanism for us to see who makes it through these programs. So we're going to be watching. We're going to be seeing which one of you starts, the Learn World program and then just fizzles out. And you're not going to make it. You got to go through that program. It's not hard. It's not complicated stuff, but you got to do the work. All right. It's not because, oh, Matt, this changed my life. No, I'm looking to see how disciplined you are, honestly, because to be able to lend is an extremely disciplined game. You cannot just pull this thing off. Again, you're going to lose all of our money. All right. But if you're disciplined, if you go through the program, if we watch you on your attendance, we're looking at all your attendance right now. We know exactly who's on this call. We're going to look exactly who's on the call on Friday. Okay. These are indicators, behavioral indicators that we're looking for of who the best are. What's going to happen is you're all going to start on that left-hand side of the slide. All right. You're all going to get invited to the expert sessions. We've got an amazing program set up of just unbelievable founders that built companies here on the continent. They're going to teach you about how they did it. We've got great service providers that are going to come and talk to you about the most innovative technology that you can begin incorporating in your business, like Circle. We've got unbelievable, these are people that are phenomenal And Adam Abate is going to interview them, and you can ask questions and hear their stories. All right. So everybody's going to get access to that. Everybody's going to get access to Learn World. Again, this is an online learning platform. You log in, you go through the steps, you're going to love it. Then behind the scenes, we're going to be watching, and we're going to select 50 of you to be invited to present your company's idea to our investment committee. Okay, so just like a typical rapid fire 10 minutes. We're going to pack those in on 3 days, 2 weeks from now. It's going to be very intense for you. It's going to be very intense for us. But we're going to hear the best of the best. And of course, we've got algorithms working behind the scenes. We've got teams working behind the scenes, looking at your applications, looking at your profiles, looking at your pitch decks, watching how you're going through the program. We're going to take all that data and we're going to pick the 50. From there, we'll hear your pitches. We're going to deliberate. We're going to yell at each other. It's very emotional. It's very hot. You know, we go through this program. Humans are going to be selecting the best 15 to 20 from that 50. The best 15 to 20 then get accepted into phase 4. And 4 through 7 is pretty intense. Okay, so 4 through 7, you're going to be in a peer learning group. This is very important. In a second, you're going to hear why peer learning groups are so powerful. You're going to get very detailed training programs delivered by us and other experts. All right. And then from there, you're going to also get to know the investment committee. Spend time with us, Adam, Lucas, Laura, myself. We're going to hear from you. We're going to be a part of those sessions. We're going to watch how you engage with others. We're going to see what your leadership style is. We're going to be analyzing how you engage with others. And then from there, we're going to select, hopefully, some of the best of you to invest in. And that is the EmFi series. All right. And I really hope that you all make it through all the way to the end. Even if you don't, it doesn't mean it's the end. Okay. What you're going to hear about in a second is the feedback is a gift. And some of the, if you don't make it through into the first 50, that's fine. All right. We're constantly out looking for great people. Hey, come back again. We want to see you and we want to meet you. It's never no, it's just maybe no for now. All right. But we're going to be putting you through this program. It's going to be so it's very much a funnel. But over the next 8 weeks, hopefully, on the right-hand side of that, for those of you who are the best of the best, we'll find you. And hopefully we'll have opportunities to sit down and discussion investment for you to help you unlock capital, again, for hundreds of thousands of small businesses. So that's the EmFi series. Again, all this information is on Learn World. But I wanted to give you that overview, hear from me about what's going on and truly what's happening behind the scenes, because sometimes I don't think you know that we're watching. And I don't think that if you knew that, then you take it a little bit more seriously and really go through that program, because again, it helps you, it helps us understand if you really want to do this. Because again, as you're going to hear in a second, entrepreneurship is the most amazing sport in the world. So now you know the EmFi series. I'm going to now take you through what I hope will be a very memorable section of our training. I can only say that when I first learned about this stuff, has nothing to do with technology or APIs or embedded finance, by the way, has nothing to do with us. This is all about life. When I first went through this training when I was a young man, I can only say that it absolutely has changed my life. Yeah, it's very powerful. So let me begin. You'll understand why in a second. First off, welcome. You all might not know this, but probably many of you do. You have signed up to play what I think is the most amazing sport in the world, but it's also the most competitive sport in the world. And that is entrepreneurship. That is being a business owner. That is being a founder. That is nights, weekends. It never goes away. There's no off season. There's no halftime. There's no rule book. There's no, the opponents are infinite and the stakes are very high. You lose, you can go absolutely broke. You can lose all your money. But the reward could also be infinite. It can be amazing. And so, yes, if you didn't know, this is a sport. Remember that. It's very important. Put that mental model in your brain and you'll get everything I'm about to talk to you about. Now, I'm an investor. Part of my job as an investor, part of my job as a founder. Okay. And I look at businesses all the time. Adam looks at businesses. Laura looks at businesses. Lucas looks at businesses. Nihal looks at businesses. Our business is to look at businesses. All right. And investing, which is what I just talked to you through, the 8 weeks, 7 phases, is like the Olympics. Investing is like the Olympics of business. And we obviously are masters and have studied over decades, literally decades, of the best of the best. We've made tons of mistakes. We've invested in horrible founders. We've lost tons of money. Laura and I have personally lost tons of money. All right. But we've learned from it. We've learned valuable lessons, extremely valuable lessons. Oh, and by the way, I didn't come from Wall Street or San Francisco. Everything, any penny that I've ever invested has been just here in Africa. I'm not some, oh, I'm going to fly it over to, Ethiopia and learn and make my money. And no, I was a management consultant and I moved over here with Laura, 2012. I'll never forget it, February 2012. We moved in, tiny little apartment right over by the airport. I flew over with a plane full of investors because I and she had a dream. And we said, hey, you got to stop giving money to this continent, start investing. The potential is huge. But what we've done and how we've done is we've had to learn a lot and we've made tons of mistakes, but we've gotten good and we've gotten better because we've committed the rest of our lives to doing this. There's only one way forward, and that is to get smarter and sharper as we go. And the one thing we know is that great founders, just like great athletes, practice the sport of business like a machine. All right. So they practice the game of business. And what I'm going to take you through is a training program. All right. And this training program, I hope will do what it did for me when I was very young, which had changed my life. And I pretty much think that anybody that goes through this program, whether you want to just be an employee at a great company, or you want to be a founder, or you want to go on and become the prime minister or the president of your country, you implement what we're going to take you through in the next 15 minutes. It will absolutely change your life. But before that, let me give you a very important 2 mental models. And again, mental models are really powerful tools that, my management consultant days, everything is models for management consultants. Everything we look at, whether we're going out to dinner, whether we're flying in a plane, whether we're driving down the road, we are filtering like a freaking machine. We're our own AI. Everything through models. We look at like, okay, what does that look like? And why is that way? And we break things down because there's so much information in the world. They train your brain to think and organize all of that information into these models so you can make sense of the world. And the first thing that you should know is that inside of you as an entrepreneur are 3 conflicting, partnering types of people. This is taken straight out of a book called E-Myth. If you haven't read it before, I highly recommend you do. It's called E-Myth. You can listen to it on Spotify. You can download it, I think, for free anywhere. It's by a guy named Michael Gerber. It's a really fun read. You can burn it through in a weekend. But it's very powerful because it teaches you something important. There are 3 types of people inside of you, personas in a founder. The entrepreneur, the technician, and the manager. And any guesses? I see lots of chats going up, but let me just ask you real quick. I'm going to go to the bottom here. Which one do you think is the weakest of these 3? The entrepreneur, the technician, or the manager? Who can throw an idea? Yeah, Jim's read the book before. Anyone else? Yeah, the entrepreneur. Okay, Samuel. Okay, yeah, lots of you. Good. Yeah, geez, that's right. You're all very smart. The entrepreneur is a visionary. Okay, so Africa does not lack vision. If there's more visionaries walking down the street right here than I probably could bump into in downtown Washington, D.C. That you got vision coming out of your ears. All right. Ideas are everywhere in this continent because ideas are born out of problems. And there's lots of challenges in this amazing continent. Never before in history has there been a continent better positioned to emerge than Africa right now. You being last to emerge is your greatest advantage because you are emerging right now in an era that no one before you has had the privilege of emerging with. The technology at your fingertips in that phone. You can do things nobody's done before. Okay, so vision, boom. I don't know about you, but I literally walk down the street. I cannot control the amount of ideas that are boiling in my brain. That's the entrepreneur, okay? Next is the technician. This is the person who just loves to sit and build this crap all the time. They're sitting on Cloud Code. They're building all sorts of stuff, banging out new apps, boom, boom, boom. It's like annoying how much stuff that person is building all the time. But the manager sits back and goes, good heavens, stop. We need to build a company. Don't forget, we have to build this thing so it can scale and not just be a little thing working out of your garage, but to finally turn into a global company. That's my job. I'm the manager. And that, unfortunately, is not just here with the weakest, it's globally the weakest. But what I'm going to take you through will build that muscle in you, because that, ladies and gentlemen, is the weakest link. You balance that out, a third, a third, a third. Be inspired. That gets you up at 5:30. Go do some work. We have to. We love to deliver. We love to ship. But remember, you've got to go to work on your business. If you don't build your manager muscle, I can't help you. If you know that that manager is a secret unlock, we can move forward. Okay. Mental model number one, 3 personas. One is the weakest. We have to build that muscle. Mental model number two, the greatest founders in the world. Doesn't matter where they come from, don't matter where they are obsessed about one thing, their business. The best founders in the world see the business as the product. Sure, they love to get down on the production floor and build it. They love to do rockets and electric cars and all sorts of crap. They love doing that stuff, but they love their business. They love the hiring. They love the cash flow. They love the branding. They love the SOP writing. They love making sure that that system, that company will grow and become successful. Otherwise, they're trapped in the garage. All right. So, mental model number two, the business, your business is the product that you should be obsessed about, not your product. That is one thing you're obsessed about, but it's not the whole thing. And if you think, oh, finance is boring, I'm going to let that be the finance department. Oh, I don't like to do marketing. Marketing is boring. I'll leave that to the people that are stuck on social media. I don't want to go to that event. I don't want to get on that sales call. Then you shouldn't be a founder. But if you change your framework and you realize that your business is the product, then we can move forward. Now you're on the track to really building something amazing. And this is all important because it's leading up to these two slides. So here it comes. Memorize this mantra. Great companies are run by great systems that are executed by good people every single day. And right there in the middle, highlighted in yellow, great companies are run by great systems. Who? Which of the 3 persona is responsible for the systems? Any guesses? You could chat it in. That's exactly good. You're paying attention. The manager. So you have to be really good at building systems. If you're good at building systems, you can do anything. You can do a delivery food app. You can make in Jira. You can build textile companies. You can create a fintech. You can build a rocket company and send people to Mars. You still have to do that work, okay? That's the key. Now we're going to get into the most important piece because it begins. Now we're going to move from the company to you. The next thing you have to memorize is this: great leaders, great founders, great entrepreneurs are run by great habits. that are executed every morning, come rain or shine. Okay? Great companies are run by great systems that are executed by great people every day. You are the leader. You are the founder. Great leaders are run by great habits that are executed every day, come rain or shine. Some of you may know who this amazing gentleman is. He's one of my personal heroes. I love him. But I don't put this up because I actually don't like basketball at all. I think it's one of the most boring sports ever to watch. But that doesn't matter. This gentleman, um, there's few in history that have ever come close in any sport to matching his discipline. He wasn't that great, by the way. This is an interesting misnomer. I mean, yes, Michael Jordan was pretty amazing. He would kick my butt on the court. He'd probably kick my butt right here if he came in and heard me say that. But what he was disciplined. For any book and anybody that's listened about his life and his early life, and he didn't have a great upbringing, all right? He was kind of scrawny, kind of weak. Even I think his older brother was a better basketball player than he was. But he had the grit and the discipline of a freaking machine. And he worked 10 times harder than anyone else. And there's stories of him practice, and then everybody be leaving practice. And then he would kind of get into his car and they'd all leave the parking lot. And he'd wait and he'd wait. And then he'd get out, shut the door, go back, and do 3 free throw shots over and over again because he knew one day it was going to come down to winning the game with that free throw shot. And this is a very famous picture. This is November 23rd, 1991, a game against the Denver Nuggets where this one rookie was talking so much crap to him. And right at the end, it came down to him taking a free throw shot because the guy gave him an elbow to the jaw. And Michael just turned over and said, "Watch this. This is for you." He said this to the Nuggets rookie. Closed his eyes and sunk the free throw shot because he was so calm, so prepared. He knew he was going to win. And he was successful. And it's important for you to remember this. Success is not something that you achieve. Success is attracted to you by the person you become. Now, that's very, very powerful because it puts you in the driving seat of your own success. Success is not something you achieve. Success is attracted to you by the person you become. And what I'm going to take you through are 5 powerful habits that will put you on the road to becoming the person that attracts success. And I'm going to cover these more in later things. So I'm going to burn through these pretty fast because I don't have infinite time, but I could spend hours on just one of these with you. And by the way, I am a big believer. I don't teach anything I don't do myself. All right. And so you can ask my wife, you can ask anybody that knows me, and ask all the people that watch me run around my compound every morning. I not only am a big believer in this, but I do them religiously. And I know that I will be successful. I absolutely do. You can wake me up in the middle of the night and say, "Matt, what are you going to do? What are you going to be?" And I can tell you. And that takes a long time. Okay. You're not going to get there overnight. But I hope what I'm going to take you through right now, you can implement. Don't try to do these all at once, please. And I'll emphasize this at the end. This is not easy to do these. Okay. These are habits that I'm asking you to develop if you want to. But I promise you, if you do, they'll change your life. They'll make you a person that attracts success. So let's start it off. Again, these are actual things that I'm going to walk you through, very tactical things. We'll send out these slides. Don't worry, you can watch the video, and I have all this online so you can watch it at your own pace. Just listen, take some notes, and hear the words I'm telling you. I hope it has an impact. First, every great founder, whether it's Elon Musk or Dangote or whoever you want to pick from this list, historical successful people, they have an unbelievable rock solid mindset. And the mindset, your ability to have a growth mindset, is a habit. It's a muscle that you build. Okay. If you don't train your brain, it will default into a fear mode. So, how you know you're in a fear mode is you're stressed out a lot. You blame a lot of people. You make excuses. You are constantly trying to control things outside of you, people, your environment. You're screaming. Your emotions are really driving most of your life. And those are people, unfortunately, that have a real hard time. And it's okay. The good news is you can break out of that. You can train your mind to become not victim mindset, but a growth mindset. But everything I just described is a victim. Sometimes they've had something happen to you. You might have had something happen to you when you're a young person. And it's very easy to blame others. It's very easy because it feels good at first when it's not your fault. Um, but you have to stop that immediately. You have to take ownership of your life. And you really have to know that you are in control of your future. If you can't do that, none of this is going to work. But if you say, I'm going to stop blaming and I'm going to stop making excuses, then everything I'm going to walk you through, you can do, and it's going to start to really have an impact. So, first, how to develop a growth mindset and really the mindset of a highly successful person. One, you have to get up before everybody else. So set your alarm for 5:30 or whenever everyone else in your household, or if it's only you, wakes up. But set your alarm. Usually 5:30 is a great time to wake up. I wake up religiously every day at 5:30. It's about an hour before everybody else gets up. Get that time. You need that time. Okay, next, drink a cold glass of water. It's refreshing. I don't know why, but that one act of stimulus of coming into your body, kind of getting you refreshed, after you go to sleep at night, you wake up, you're dehydrated, drink that one glass of cold water. Two, this is critical. Read your personal vision statement out loud. Another good reason to get up before everybody else, go in a quiet room, because it's kind of awkward when you're doing it a little bit, but speaking to yourself. My vision is, but you have to do it. All right. And if you don't have a personal vision statement, write it down. It's one paragraph. I read mine. I say mine every single day out loud. I can say it in my sleep. I know it like the back of my hand. This is extremely important. I'll explain why in later trainings, but you have to have a personal mission statement and a vision for yourself. Okay. I know again, by 65, we will have, I can say it. You can ask me anytime and I'll tell you what it is. It's amazing. Write it down, memorize it, and read that out loud. Next, journal. And this is really important. Get your feelings out on paper. Write down what you're excited for the day, what would make today a great day for you, and what you're grateful for. That 3-part journaling exercise is so powerful because the day is the number one most important executable thing that you have. It's not 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, 1 quarter, 1 month, 1 week. It's today. And if you don't kind of get your head in the game today, talking about what you're excited for the day, what would make it a great day if I got this done, and what I'm grateful for. Gratitude is a great reset. You're just going to kind of float through the day. You'll burn through your day. Like, how did I burn through yet another day? Think about that. How many of you just burn through your days? Stop immediately doing that. Control your morning and journal. It really helps document what's going on. Next, exercise. This is critical. Get your body moving. All right. I recommend at least 30 minutes a day. You can walk, you can run, you can jog, you can do jumping jacks, you can push ups, one way or the other. Get your body moving and make sure to stretch. It's really good. And then, most critically, have something somewhere nearby where you can take notes. Because I don't know why, but all the 5 steps right before everything that led up to number 6, all of a sudden ideas are going to start popping into your brain like out of control. You've got to capture them. All right. So I have a notes thing on my phone where while I'm running, and I run in the mornings. I mean, people know I stop. I don't care if it's in the middle of traffic. Well, hopefully I'm not away of traffic, but I will stop dead in my tracks if I have an idea and I write it down. I have for 20 years, I have a list of ideas. And then now I can pump it through AI and it really helps me clean it up and get everything put into tight. But a lot of those ideas I had in number 6 are now pieces of my company. It's amazing. All right. But that is key. Everything you're doing right now is getting you into a growth mindset. Growth mindset people don't talk about problems. They're constantly looking for opportunities. They see everything before them as an opportunity, but your default brain is victim. Your default brain is, oh, this is a problem. Oh, this hurts. Oh, oh, my life sucks. Stop doing that. You're choosing to be a victim. Take control of your life. Do these 5 steps. The 6th step here, write those ideas. That is the power of everything that the growth mindset gets you into. It's the ideas will start popping, and you got to write them down. I'm not going to go through this now because I'm running out of time. Literally, I could spend 2 hours on this. I would love to take you all through just a mindset training. But if you're really, really freaking good, this is a bonus. Write down your to-dos on a note card. All right, every morning. Here's mine. You can see it. I don't know if you can see that. All right, and cross those little puppy dogs out. All right. First one is EmFi series, session 0. Actually, it's the second one. I had a whole bunch of other things I had to do today. But man, that power of crossing off that list of the things you get done today, there is nothing that feels better than crushing it because you just got done so much. I tell you what, my productivity is ridiculous because I go through this program. I wasn't always this way. Gosh, I was a mess. But somebody sat me down, took me through this training when I was young, thank God. And it changed my absolute life. All right. So this is the mindset habit. Do it. If nothing else, do this, you're good. All right. I think this is so powerful. I hope you all enjoy it. All right. Next, successful founders obsess about practice and learning. All right. I recommend at least an hour a day, 30 minutes a day. You listen to a podcast, you read something that is about the sport you're playing. Some great ones that I listen to habitually, How I Built This. This is an NPR one. Founders by David Senra. The Flip, great African podcast. I love those guys. I wish they kept doing it. But listen to something that gets your brain stimulated. Combine this with exercise, boom, it's unbelievable. The ideas that will really start popping. Again, make sure to take those notes, immediately put pause and write that idea down. They'll really start to pop. Set up an AI feed, an automatic feed in the morning to send you news about your market and your competitors and your company. Every morning I have a dossier. I read through, it takes me 5 minutes. And I know what's going on in the market. I know it's happening. I'm learning a little bit. I can even send you my prompt that I put through Gemini. It's amazing. It gives me a fun fact of what's going on in the embedded finance and alternative lending space in Africa. Give me the 5 most important VC news items I need to know for today, what happened yesterday, regulatory wise, what's going on. Boom, it puts it all right there for me. Next, attend a training session like this one, right? This is really going to sharpen you up. It's really going to make you stronger. And then spend 3 hours every single week implementing what it is that you've learned. Spend 3 hours implementing, because you can learn everything, but if you don't do it, what the heck's the point? All right, you got to implement the things that we're going to teach you in this program. And then the real fun part, the best way to learn is to, who knows? The best way to learn is to, does anybody know? I've shared this a million times. See if anybody knows it. Does anybody know it? Yes. Yes, teach. Good. Well done, team. You guys know this. The best way to learn is to teach. Teach somebody, but don't teach somebody if you haven't done it. That's the rule. I will not let you do that. You've got to do what you've learned, and then you can teach someone. And man, it's going to be the greatest thing in your life to go out and teach somebody these habits and these tools that we're teaching you. You're going to love it. Next, the best athletes in the world will fire their coach if that coach isn't pushing them. The best founders surround themselves by people that push them. So I recommend, I've been meeting with a group of guys for the past 20 plus years. Every Friday, we get on a phone call, no matter where we are in the world. And these are sharp people. Remember this, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your life with, most of your time with. You're the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. Look around. All right. Are you above average? Are you below average? You'll want to be below average. You want to be below that collective average of the people around you. Otherwise, you're just playing crappy tennis. All right. Best tennis players want to play the better people than them so they can get better. Surround yourself. This is going to kind of suck because you're going to have to kind of let go of some people. You got to ask yourself, am I surrounding myself with people that are pushing me? But do organize a group. Go out tomorrow and organize a group of friends. Meet with them on a regular basis. Say, hey, look, here's my vision for my life. I wrote it down. Some jerk on a call told me to do this, and I was going to have no direction if I did. I did it. What do you think of it? They're like, wow, that's really amazing. Why did you do that? Well, I want to have a vision for my life. I want to go somewhere. That's great. I want to do that too. Well, will you guys hold me accountable to that? Every single one of my friends knows what my vision is. Every single one of my friends knows what my goals are for the year. Every single one of my friends challenges me if some of my habits aren't in line with my goals and my vision. All right, we're going to get to that. Your habits are your operating system. All right, so get the habit of feedback. Every week, I have a team that's giving me, and by the way, I married my business partner. You don't think the best person in the world who's going to give you feedback is sitting right next to you. And by the way, she does not hold punches. She tells me directly, but that was good. You went way too long on that point, and I'm going to get an earful in a little bit here because I'm going too long. But you want to have feedback is a gift. Iron sharpens iron. I'll let you read these later because I got to move faster. But get a feedback habit in place now. The worst founders in the world don't take feedback well. They get offended. Who's this white guy who doesn't know about? He's a Ferengi. He's a Mzungu. He doesn't know about us. Whatever. What are you talking about? It has nothing to do with it. All right. You screwed up. It's okay. I believe in you, but you need to hear that feedback. All right. And by the way, I've gotten feedback too. I've pissed off so many people. They came out and hey, look, man, you didn't do that well. You got to change this, do that. I love it. Love feedback. Feedback is a gift. Make that a part of your habit. Build it into your weekly program. Next is focus. I really got to focus and get her through this. Focus habit is critical. First, the number one focus that you should do, and this ties back to your morning habits, is to write down a personal vision for your life. Memorize it and read it every single morning. Then write down your personal goals for the year. Read those and memorize those. Then review your calendar and make sure that you're working on those every day. And that is it. So many people live an unfocused life. So many people have 15 things up. They're looking at their iPhones and LinkedIn and all this crap. Focus. Have a vision, have goals for the year, and break those down. We spend a lot of time on this in the executive program and the training program we're going to take you through. I can't cover it all right now, but remember, about 20% of your effort is going to give you 80% of your results. If you just bump that up 10%, boom, that will change your life. And then finally, be absolutely disciplined with your time. The best founders, the best executives in the world are absolutely ruthless with their time. They use their calendar on Sunday. So I'm going to give you very specific feedback right now. On Sunday night, before the week begins, they sit down and they plan out their week. They write down, these are the big things I want to get done this week. They do the same thing every morning, by the way. These are the things I want to get done this morning. So the whole thing starts to cascade, right? Beautifully down. This way you're working on things that are directly putting bricks into the castle that you're building every single day. I'm ruthlessly methodical about this. And you can't, it's just discipline. It's a habit. It's a habit that you build. You take a big vision and you start chopping it up into smaller until you get it down to the day. And then you map that day to your calendar and then you live on your calendar. People that are, I mean, this is everybody, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, everybody, they were ruthless about this. Ruthless. And they tell you, oh, I cleared because they didn't want anybody to bug them, but they were absolutely methodical about what they were going to get done during the day. All right. Make one of those I musts that you're going to work on something that you've learned in this training program. Then on Friday, go through and make sure you've completed those and then repeat. And that's it. All right. So again, I'm going to get into a lot more detail in each one of these in our more focused training programs. But these 5 habits are so foundational. All right. Again, it's the mindset habit. You've got to get your morning routine down. Practice, learning about the sport you're in. All right. Feedback, getting really good people around you that are going to challenge you and sharpen you. Focus. Have a vision for yourself and have a vision for your day. Simple as that. And then finally, time management. Use your calendar and execute. If you can do that, I guarantee no matter what you're going to do in life, if you build these and make these things that I've put on these slides habits, you will be 99% more successful than you are today. I promise you that. Now, here's a challenge. Good habits take 30 days, about 30 days. Some say 60, I think 30. 30 days to form. And unfortunately, they only take 3 days to break. So you've got to do these things, all right? And then on the flip side of that, bad habits take 3 days to form and 30 days to break. So try to live your life building good habits. And oh, by the way, you can't just do them once and it's like brushing your teeth or going to the gym. You can't work out 1 day a month for 8 hours and think you're going to look like an amazing person. It's small effort every single day. It's just like brushing your teeth. You don't have to think to brush your teeth, you just do it. Same thing for these habits. I really want you to develop those. Some important tools I want to leave you with. And again, don't worry, I'm going to cover more of this later on. So it's really important that you just listen and focus. First and foremost, use a habit tracker. My phone's over there, but I use a habit tracker. I think you can actually, even if for those of you who use Claude right now, you can literally ask it to build a habit tracker for you, an app for your phone. But definitely let that be the foundational habit that you do. I have a habit tracker. I love it. You can click off the habits you do every day. Don't try to do everything I just told you to do, by the way. Just pick 2 or 3 to do this week. Maybe it's get up at 5:30, drink a cold glass of water, and then journal. If you do those 3 things, amazing. And if you are already an amazing person that does that stuff, pick another 3. Important there is to find a keystone habit. Now, a keystone habit is something that you already do every day, like make coffee. Like making coffee is my keystone habit. The minute I get up, I go downstairs, I make coffee for myself and my wife. All right. And immediately, because I know there's a reward after I make that coffee, I put 3 habits immediately right onto that. I say my personal vision statement out loud. I listen to something inspirational. Okay. And I have that cup of water. Right there, that's a keystone habit, the coffee that I build around. And then it just keeps going from there, right? So habit tracker, keystone habit, write down that personal vision statement. Please, please, please do that. If you don't do it now, tomorrow, it will change your life. You can edit it, don't worry. Share it with the friends on your feedback session, okay? But just get it on paper. Writing something down increases the likelihood that you will achieve it by 50%. It is the most amazing return on investment of anything. No tech, no Claude, no AI, no chat GPT, no bullshit. Write it down. You write something down. The increases your odds of success by 50%. There's nothing in the world better than that. All right. Then set up your notes on your phone to capture those ideas. And above all else, do not make excuses and do not blame others. Stop that immediately and take ownership of your life. All right. I didn't give you any time for questions, but don't worry. This will not be the last time you hear from me. And I hope to engage with a lot of you. Put your questions in the chat right now. What we'll do is we'll summarize everything for you and we'll send out an FAQs when we're done. But real quick, the EmFi series is a 7-phase, 8-week program that is designed to change your life and to help us find the best of the best to invest in. We hope you love it. We think it'll change your life. I hope it does. If it doesn't, then give me feedback and we'll change it up. But I really do. I hope it's powerful for you. Business, again, is the most competitive sport in the world. So practice the game of business. Remember, mental models are powerful. They help you organize information and think different. Great companies are run by great systems that are run by good people, and great leaders are run by great habits that they do every day, rain or shine. And I really hope those habits become your operating system for life and for your success. What's next? Please log into Learn World. You all should have received an email from Renew that allows you to log in. A lot of this stuff is on there. Enjoy it. Attend our first session this Friday at 2 p.m. East Africa time with Jesse Moore, the founder of MCOPA. I think it's going to be so exciting. I can't wait for it. I'm going to get on there and listen. I'm going to be ahead of all of you. I'm going to log in early so I can hear the scuttle if he's on. Attend the first expert session again this Friday. Start going through the Learn World program. Remember, we're watching. So get through that stuff. We will review your progress, and soon we will inform you if you make it to the next 50. With that, I'm 1 minute over. Nihal, I'll turn it back to you real quick. I'm so sorry I didn't get through everything and give time for Q&A, but hopefully you've all enjoyed this. Thank you all so much. Over to you, Nihal.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Feel free to reach out to me or the team if you have any more questions you want us to answer. But meanwhile, as Matt said, please go log into your Learn World and see you next Friday. Bye.
Thank you for joining us for EmFi, Embedded Finance in Africa. To watch future conversations with founders, operators, and investors shaping financial services across Africa, follow Renew Capital on LinkedIn, YouTube, and your preferred podcast platform. We'll see you next time.